Greetings. I'm Kristen Clarke, Assistant Attorney General for the U.S. Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division. And on behalf of the entire Civil Rights Division, alongside the Attorney General, our Deputy Attorney General, and U.S. attorneys' offices around the country, it is truly my privilege to commemorate National Human Trafficking Prevention Month with all of you. Human trafficking is a vicious and insidious crime that we at the Department of Justice work every day to prosecute and uproot. These are particularly heinous crimes where traffickers exploit the most vulnerable members of society. They disproportionately target women and girls, racial and ethnic minorities, migrants, and LGBTQ plus youth. They use violence, threats of violence, deception, and other forms of psychological coercion to compel their victims into forced labor or commercial sex. And they carry out simply unspeakable harm on their victims, depriving them of their human dignity and their civil rights, and often their freedom. Since the Civil Rights Division's founding, enforcing prohibitions against involuntary servitude and protecting the rights of the most vulnerable has been a cornerstone of our mission. After the Trafficking Victims Protection Act of 2000 expanded the tools available to the department, we established a dedicated human trafficking prosecution unit to consolidate all of the human trafficking expertise that we have and to help really lead our enforcement efforts. That unit works closely with U.S. attorneys' offices nationwide and with a wide range of law enforcement and NGO partners to combat human trafficking in all its forms, to vindicate victims' rights, and to work to hold traffickers accountable for their crimes. As one powerful example, just last month, the department secured a sentence of 57 months in prison for a Georgia motel owner who exploited the desperation of a young woman who was struggling with homelessness, with heroin addiction, and with child custody issues in order to compel her to perform sex acts. In August and September of last year, we secured guilty pleas from 3 men who lured young women from Guatemala on false promises and then used physical, verbal, and psychological abuse to exploit them for domestic labor in local hotels and factories. And earlier this year, we secured convictions of 3 men who used smuggling debts, threats, and violence to lure women from Cuba and compel them here to perform commercial sex acts at Houston area strip clubs. The 3 men were sentenced to prison terms ranging from 34 to 210 months in prison. These cases and many others reflect our commitment to using every tool that we have available to us to fight human trafficking. That commitment is also reflected in our observance of Human Trafficking Prevention Month. At events throughout this month, we remember that the fight against human trafficking is rooted in the 13th Amendment's guarantee against involuntary servitude. We will stand in solidarity with trafficking survivors, and we will work closely with our partners to advance every aspect of our anti-trafficking efforts. We're really proud of the work that we've done to combat human trafficking, but we also know that there's still much more work left to be done. In the months and years ahead, the Civil Rights Division will remain committed to uprooting human trafficking organizations, vindicating the rights of trafficking victims, and holding traffickers accountable for their crimes.